How will this change the election? Joining us now is Texas Congressman Michael Burgess. Sir, thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Good morning. So what are the implications for this election season now that we have this on the table?
Well, it's one more thing that that now has to factor into the decision, isn't it? And first off, our thoughts and prayers go with the family of Justice Ginsburg. We forget that people on the court are people, and they have families. Everything gets so two-dimensional on with television coverage, but it is of course a family this morning loss of a loved one, and that's tough. I think in a perfect world there would be perhaps a little more time to mourn and time for the family to go through their process, but the world's moving pretty fast right now, and the president does have the capacity and the ability to name a nominee to fill that vacancy, and the Senate will perform its advice and consent role. And I feel confident that everyone will do what's in the country's best interest.
Two of your colleagues in Congress aren't such a fan of that strategy. Chuck Schumer and AOC. Take a listen.
It is only right and it is only fair for us to abide by RBG's last wish, that she be replaced when a new president is installed.
We must also commit to using every procedural tool available to us to ensure that we buy ourselves the time necessary.
Congressman, just focusing on the election and the fallout from the election, why, in your opinion, is it so vital that we have 9 justices in place on November 3rd?
Well, it's quite possible that the election may not be decisive. We saw that back in the year 2000. And can you just imagine the effect of an 8-person Supreme Court in a case like Bush v. Gore back when that happened? That could possibly mean that the court would be tied, couldn't come to a decision. That then throws the whole process into the House of Representatives. I don't think that would be a desirable outcome. So there's a valid reason for wanting the court to be at full strength. Now, look, the Constitution said the president can name his pick to the court, and the president will do that, just as President Obama named Justice Garland, to Judge Garland to be nominated. The Senate will then perform its advice and consent. In the case of Mr. Garland, they chose not to go forward. I suspect in this case they will.
Let's talk about this for a second here, because COVID-19 stimulus bill, the latest information on this, you do have some economists warning that the U.S. could fall back into a double-dip recession if Congress does not pass a new stimulus. Do you think they're going to be able to get a deal done?
That's, clearly the events of this weekend have not made that easier. But perhaps it underscores how important it is. It is unfortunate the Senate did have a compromise position on the floor of the Senate last week, and it was defeated by the Democrats. Now, what I saw of the Sunday shows yesterday, the Democrats were complaining that the Senate wouldn't move on a bill, but in fact, the Senate had a response on the floor, and it was the Democrats who blocked it. Look, the good news is that the effects of the virus are waning and the economy is improving, but it's not fast enough. And there are certainly people and industries that are at risk. And to the extent that Congress can provide that help, I think we ought to sit down and do the math on where the help is needed and see if we can't get it there. There's been some good economic news, and that's great. Things are recovering. Things are recovering, perhaps much faster than people allowed that they would last March. A true V-shaped recession, but you don't want it to become a W-shaped recession and have a rebound effect. Pay attention to this, and to the extent that there can be agreement, let's get those things that we can agree on. Let's get them done.
Congressman Michael Burgess, thanks for getting up with us. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you.